A lot of time when people abuse you or don't treat you well, many of us, when we are mistreated or ill treated, we believe that forgiving the ones who hurt us, who betrayed us, who abused us, is being a kind or a good person. And also, a lot of times, so that there is often a question asked when you share that if you are still being kind to your abuser, you are operating in a trauma response. So people ask me questions like, oh, but what about forgiveness? And what about duties? So, a lot of times when someone abuses us and we tend to not acknowledge it, and we tend to say that we are forgiving them, but actually, what we are doing is we are helping them repeat the cycle of abuse. So, you are not forgiving them. Forgiveness is an altogether different thing. Forgiveness is when you are making sure that you cut that thing then and there. So you can still call out them. You can still tell them that, listen, you are being abusive to me. This is not correct. And do not let this happen next time again. Do not keep abusing me again and again. And after saying that things, after vocalizing that, you can decide to say that, okay, I would like to end all my connections with this person because they have been perpetually abusing. And then you say, okay, all right, I know it was a part of whatever. It's usually people who abuse are victims of victims. Someone has abused them. They are just passing on the pain and trauma. Now, when you call them out, you break the cycle. When you exit their life, you still break the cycle. So you can exit their life, just cut all your ties with the person who is continuously abusing you. And then, of course, you can go into forgiveness, what we call as forgiveness. Now, your forgiveness is where you can do something like the Ho'oponopono prayer, where you say that, okay, I know this was a part of, there is a reason you were abusive to me. I cut cords with you, I cut all ties with you, but I would like to not hold that grudge with me and go on. A lot of people, they hold on that grudge and they just keep holding that grudge. Now, the truth is, when you cut ties and when you call out someone who has been abusing you actually break the cycle of abuse. When you create boundaries with that person, you can still have forgiveness for the person and have boundaries with the person, call them out, tell them that what they are doing is not right. Because in all relationships, respect is mutual. And no matter what the relationship is, abuse is simply something which you should not resort to at any cost. Just like abusing someone is bad, receiving an abuse and staying silent about it, think you are kind and forgiving is even more pathetic because you are accelerating the karma. Right now, what happens when you just stay numb about it, stay mum about it, and keep on repeating the cycle, keep on receiving abuse, no matter what, and thinking it's not forgiveness. It's one of the biggest misconceptions is if you are continuously receiving abuse and you are still being kind to the abuser, you are forgiving. No, you are not forgiving. You are, in fact, letting the karma between you and the other person grow. So you are accelerating the negative karma and you are still holding that cycle. So it will keep repeating. It will keep repeating. Maybe if you forever stay in that abuser victim relationship, you will carry forward that trauma to the next lifetime. And again, in the next lifetime, maybe you become the abuser and the other person becomes victim, and it keeps on happening in every lifetime. So a lot of times when you have been receiving abuse, probably in some past birth, you were the abuser. Or if now you are a victim in the next birth, if you do not take action now, in the next birth, you will be the abuser, the person will be victim, and it will keep happening. You will keep running in cycles, right? So staying quiet about it and still being kind, I would rather say it's being, unfortunately, being stupid. You're not being kind to the abuser. You're not calling out because you're still holding the cycle. Now, to break the cycle, open your mouth. Call the person out. Tell them that this is not acceptable. And if things still do not look good, exit the relationship, draw boundaries. A lot of people are doing this at workplace. They have bosses who yell at them, who shout at them, and they think it's very normal for bosses to do that. And the boss also, of course, is a victim of a victim, like I say. And this keeps on continuing. So a lot of times people choose to stay quiet. So two things you have to do. First and foremost, call it out, tell the person this is not acceptable. Secondly, if possible, exit that relationship if it's too abusive, right? First you call out. If the person still doesn't stop abusing you, exit that relationship, put clear boundaries, tell them it's not possible for you to tolerate that kind of abuse. And the third and the most important thing, do not miss this, is doing the Ho'oponopono ritual. Now, Ho'oponopono is a very simple, quick prayer, or what we call as, this is what we call as forgiveness, where when someone is being abusive to you, you connect to them at a soul level. Do it in your meditation. Simply say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. And you can also say things like, I now take 100% responsibility for ending the abuse with this relationship. Keep repeating these 4 sentences. Keep saying it till the time all those emotions change. I know it would be difficult. When you start, you would feel that I will never forgive this person. But understand again, forgiveness is actually cutting those dense thoughts, those dense emotions you have with the person. So, 3 things when someone is being very bad, very abusive to you, call them out, tell them that it's not right to do this, stop being abusive. A lot of people will, in fact, in my life, I saw a lot of friends would tell me, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. And they would tell me that, oh, you're so stupid, you should know to do this, you should know to do that. And at that point of time, I did not realize that, and they would then say that, oh, I'm saying it for your good. Honestly, you know your own good. So do not allow anyone to abuse you. Do not allow anyone to name call you. Now, we could probably talk about what is actually a abuse or a trauma in some other video, because it's a very broad term. But here, what I'm trying to tell you, for all of you who are going through a very difficult time in some relationship, whether it is like I gave an example of a boss and employee, a very common thing when people come to us at Unicorn Insight to take coaching, they are absolutely traumatized by the behavior of their bosses. And I sometimes feel that, is it human to treat someone like that? Because a lot of people tell me that, my superiors at work are being extremely mean to me. They name call me. They sometimes even say words which should not be used. And I sometimes wonder what is happening. Where are we going? And then you realize that the reason we attract such people in our lives is because we have past karma with them. And when you do the Ho'oponopono prayer, you break patterns. Also, are you someone who keeps meeting people with similar behavior and similar nature? That is because you are subconsciously attracting the same kind of people. And so I know someone who said that, oh, my mother-in-law is treating me in a particular way. My boss treats me in the same way at work, and my friends treat me in the same way. There you see, there is a pattern. Patterns are formed subconsciously, and that is because we are holding that karma. We are holding those limiting beliefs. So at a thought level, at a belief level, we have to change those beliefs. But when you work with the Ho'oponopono prayer, of course, we also guide people. We guide our clients with changing limiting beliefs, with changing the way you think. But in addition to doing all those sessions, I also recommend, it's one of the easiest way to break stagnant patterns with the Ho'oponopono prayer. I have a separate video on what is the Ho'oponopono prayer and how does it help. So please go through that. The link is in the video below. All I would like to say is, in all areas, like I said, some people experience this kind of abuse at work. Some people experience from people whom they call family. Unfortunately, all over the world, there are people who feel that, oh, sometimes family can be abusive, sometimes the in-laws can be abusive, sometimes even the spouse can be abusive. In all those cases, you have to make sure that do not take these things in a way that, oh, meri kismat kharab hai, mera bad luck hai. No, it's not just bad luck or good luck. Because if you keep shoving everything under the carpet, under the whole pretext of bad luck and, oh, why is this happening with me? You will keep repeating the cycle. So take action now. Use the Ho'oponopono prayer. Continuously keep doing the clearings. Sometimes people have done clearings for 2, 3 years, and after that, they have seen shifts. Some people have done clearings in just 10, 15 days. They have seen shifts. So the whole idea is to be aware of this, stay committed to this, and please do not be a fool and say that I forgive the person and keep being kind to them, and then feeling that, oh, I'm so kind to them, why are they treating me so badly? You have to stand up for yourself. You have to tell the person that, listen, stop treating me like this. Take your power back. And if you really want to forgive that person, do the Ho'oponopono prayer instead of being kind and stupid. I hope this video helps you to deal with difficult relationship, especially the karmic bonds. I will be talking about what karmic relationships are in another video. Till then, sending you lots of good wishes, lots of love, lots of support. And if you would like to book a coaching session with us, if you have more questions, you can please write down below this video. But if you really want to get in detail coaching with us, you could drop us an email at inbox.unicorninsight@gmail.com, or you could go on to our website www.unicorninsight.com and book a session. I wish you joy, happiness, success, good health, and happiness. Thank you.